This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Tuesday, May the 22nd. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Opposition Barbados Labour Party leader Mia Mottley has condemned Prime Minister Franville Stewart's proposal to pull out of the appellate jurisdiction of the Caribbean Court of Justice. Stewart told the Democratic Labour Party mass meeting Saturday night that if re-elected, the DLP administration will break away from the appellate aspect of the Trinidad-based CCJ because of what he termed politicians in robes were disrespecting Barbados. But Mottley branded the Prime Minister's plan as madness. She questioned whether Stewart's proposal was related to the CCJ's order that Barbados must allow CARICOM and other Commonwealth citizens to vote here in the upcoming general election. The leaders of the two major trade unions here came under heavy fire from Minister of International Business Donville Innes at a political meeting at Thorpe's St. James Sunday night. He criticized both Tony Moore, General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, and Akani McDowell, President of the National Union of Public Workers. Innes said the leadership of the BWU and the leadership of the NUPW are steeped in the body politics of the opposition Barbados Labour Party and are not interested in the workers of this country. One of the two men who died in a road accident on Black Rock, St. Michael in the wee hours of Sunday morning had been encouraged by his girlfriend to relocate to Barbados from his St. Lucia home. Jonah Williams, who along with Colin Dexter Clark, died at the scene of the accident when the Suzuki Vitara in which they were traveling collided head-on with a transport board bus near the junction of St. Stephen's Hill. Williams' girlfriend, Alvina Ambrose, told Barbados Today she encouraged the gardener to take up residence in Barbados instead of his homeland for better opportunities. But she would never imagine that death would come knocking on Williams' door mere weeks before he was to return home.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
One night, one winner, only one team can deliver. Balance, comprehensive, unrivaled coverage. Barbados Today, Capital Media HD 99.3 and 6 Gear Studios. Don't miss election night on www.facebook.com/Barbados Today, on www.barbadostoday.bb, live on www.capitalmediahd.com, and on www.facebook.com/Capital Media HD.
We're back with news from the region now. Law enforcement authorities in Guyana are reporting a drop in robberies. Acting Police Commissioner Paul Williams is attributing this to increased patrols.
Acting Top Cop Paul Williams explained that in comparison with the statistics earlier this year, robberies have decreased, especially since there has been special emphasis placed on patrolling.
Robbery is down. Robbery is down. So not because you might have heard or see that a firearm is being retrieved from the street and so on. Robbery is down. I can say safely for the week, we might have only had like about 2 robberies, 2 armed robberies, and then more so with the one that attempted today. But what I learned, and looking back in terms of the figures and statistics, there used to be more than that. So there used to be like 4 or 5 in a day. So robbery is down.
As it pertains to the seizure of weapons so far this year, which totals 47, Mr. Williams stated that persons in possession of illegal firearms are usually looking for an opportunity to carry out their illegal activities.
Still in this hemisphere, critics at home and abroad on Monday denounced the re-election of Venezuela's socialist president Nicolas Maduro as a farce cementing autocracy, while the U.S. government imposed new sanctions on the crisis-stricken oil-producing country.
From the U.S. to Brazil to Spain, world leaders on Monday denounced the re-election of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro in a vote critics have called a fraud. The Trump administration taking the lead Monday, announcing it will deepen existing financial sanctions. The U.S. also putting pressure on Venezuela's biggest allies, China and Russia, to stop issuing new loans. Reuters reporter Luke Cohen is in Caracas.
Many Venezuelans, particularly within the opposition, are actually hoping that the international community will take greater action in terms of new sanctions that could really be felt economically here in Venezuela, because they think that could bring Maduro to his knees and bring him into a position where he would negotiate.
And further afield, Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif has condemned the U.S. for promising to impose what the U.S. says are the strongest sanctions in history on his country. Measures outlined by Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, he said, showed the U.S. was a prisoner of its failed policies and it would suffer the consequences.
We will apply unprecedented financial pressure on the Iranian regime. The leaders in Tehran will have no doubt about our seriousness. Thanks to our colleagues at the Department of Treasury, sanctions are going back in full effect and new ones are coming. Last week, we imposed sanctions on the head of Iran's central bank and other entities that were funneling money to the IRGC Quds Force. They were also providing money to Hezbollah and other terrorist organizations. The Iranian regime should know that this is just the beginning. This sting of sanctions will be painful if the regime does not change its course from the unacceptable and unproductive path it has chosen to one that rejoins the League of Nations. These will indeed end up being the strongest sanctions in history when we are complete.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.